McDonald's wanted to sponsor our engagement party, so I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see if I
What
can maybe.
You can't just glaze it. What? How? What?
Will Ronald be there?
Who's the Grimace is coming? Wild Til. Are you ready?
Yep, let's go home.
Keith and Zach are here.
Hello.
Welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back to Wild Till 9. So I have gotten myself into a horrible habit where I haven't been introducing guests. And so even though you are our real life friends, I'm going to give you a proper introduction.
Oh, hell yeah.
So we've got Zach Kornfeld, ye old corn diddy, and Keith Habersberger of the Try Guys, full-time internet funny guys trying everything from lash extensions, which I actually have a bone to pick with you, Zach, about this video, labor pain simulators, baking without recipes, which I've gotten to be a judge and contestant on, and eating their way through menus across America. Also the host of The Tripod, the Guilty Pleasures podcast, New York Times best-selling authors, 1/3 of the comedy musical group Lou Burger, and most importantly, our good real-life buddies.
Wow, you like actually prepare now.
Wow.
I know. Last time you and Maggie were here, it was a little more run and gun.
Well, also,
Both
you
parents.
prepared by last night saying, Keith, your name on Wikipedia is this. I'm like, Wikipedia? That's where you went to look information about me?
I feel like Wikipedia gives like a good top-down view, though,
100%.
of some things, and I was really I liked the phonetic spelling.
Spinelli.
Habersberger.
Yeah, Habersberger, it does have a crazy phonetic spelling for being so simple to pronounce ultimately.
That's why I was tripping balls,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Have you seen this? This is crazy."
I guess I haven't.
Anyways, to start off the pod,
Habersberger.
I
Habersberger.
got us a gift that I'm so excited
You
about.
got us a gift?
I got us a gift.
Yeah, what do you
I
mean by
love that.
Us is the four of us that I'm so excited about. I also, I dedicated about 45 minutes of my morning on this nice, sweet Labor Day morning to this gift. So, Keith, if you'll reach underneath your seat.
Oh, it's like Oprah. Oh my God.
I know.
Go, Keith, go. Reach. Use those long limbs.
Use those long limbs.
Come on, Keith.
How far back did you hide it?
Is it really in there?
Moldovan treats. Oh, my favorite. These are my favorite. Thank you so much for getting the cranberry Moldovan treat.
I don't think I saw those up close yet.
You fucking idiot. You're so stupid. What gas station did you go to?
You probably had to go to the same one
I
we
had
went
to go to the one.
Yeah, that's the only
Stop. All right, here we go. Malt,
Yep.
open it up.
They're just as delicious as I remember.
I'm gonna be honest. The bite that you just took, I thought they were gonna.
It tastes like a car freshener.
I want to try. I'm so
They're
excited.
not good.
Oh, they're so bad.
So the backstory of these
not so bad, they're just
Moldovan
not good.
treats is that they sent the tripod producer Rainey into a gas station to go buy something that she's never seen or tried before.
Yeah.
And she came out with these Frenzaluda Moldovan treats. And
If you were to bite soap, like scented soap, this is kind of what you expect.
Well, no.
is it awful?
When somebody mailed you soap in a cardboard box and you took a bite out of that whole thing.
This is several holidays ago, at least. I mean, this tastes.
It looks like a
Like
biscotti.
packaging.
Do we start selling Try Guys branded Moldovan treats? And it's like, instead of hot ones, our show is Moldovan ones.
I kind of think it's not bad.
It's not bad, but it's so chemically.
Hold on.
Lauren, if I presented this to you on Without a Recipe, you would roast me to death.
I would be, honestly, if you were to present something in this shape, I would be
Stop
so
it.
impressed.
No, you wouldn't. You would call it a little turd. You would say that the texture's bad. This is the thing. I think about this all the time, actually, because we do the show Without a Recipe. We cook. We have people judge us. And the artifice of judging makes people so much harsher, because of course
Yeah.
it does. I have eaten things at restaurants or gotten like plating and presentation where I'm like, this would not stand up. But I'm in a restaurant and I'm happy. This Moldovan treat, you would drag me to hell and back.
Yeah.
Why are you still eating it?
I hate it.
I was like you once.
She eats circus peanuts.
The smell is nuts.
I love circus peanuts.
Like,
do?
She'll seek them out.
Do you put them in the microwave for fun and then eat them? So they're
Just
big.
fucking cold.
They're so big.
No. And they're always a little bit stale because I know that they don't get bought that often because it's only me within LA
They
that
haven't
eats
been
circus
cooking
peanuts.
them for hundreds of
They
years.
only
I know.
made one batch.
Yeah.
And it's just me in different locations eating
Of
the ones that are
TJ's,
still
TJ Maxx,
existing.
and Marshalls
Yeah, exactly.
at the checkout. Yeah.
I want to ask you because, you went on a journey to gas stations to find Moldovan treats.
These are yours.
Oh, thank you so
Right, it
much.
was our gift.
Thank you.
And then you were also texting us to you're doing your research. You were
Yeah.
texting us for topics.
Yeah.
To me, the whole joy of podcasting is that you don't have to prepare. Yet here you are doing the most, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much. I am
ended up a
actively trying to
compliment?
keep my job.
Wow.
Yeah, I
You think
like
you'd get
being
fired
able to make
from
my
your
mortgage
podcast?
payments.
Oh, okay.
These have an awful aftertaste.
You know what? I'm just sitting here eating packaged peanut.
It's not good.
I'm gonna be honest, they were better than I expected them to be.
What were you
Because you
expecting?
guys talked about them in so many episodes of the plug that I was like, we can't not. And then you didn't bring a Moldovan treat when you came over to my house to do the plug
And
last
by the
week.
way, we are still horrified at our manners.
You should be,
Yeah.
honestly.
I'm glad that you rectified it.
And I'm just so glad that we could enjoy this Moldovan treat together. Who was it that learned that Moldova was actually a
Place?
country? Yeah.
Me. I've never heard of it.
Moldova?
Yeah. When would I have heard of
No,
it?
I said Moldova as if I'm questioning it. Then I think, what's one thing you know about Moldova?
Okay, actually, our
I don't.
producer's ex-boyfriend has family in Moldova.
And what?
Hold
how,
on.
How would
Show
you?
what?
What is Moldova? Yeah, tell me about Moldova.
Oh.
It is the poorest country in Europe.
Okay.
And
Great start.
former USSR.
Near Ukraine and above
Romania.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Yes, Theory just did a video there.
And while we're here, what are you guys' thoughts on Ukraine and Russia? Let's just have
You want to just dive into that?
I do. I feel. I feel bad for Moldova?
No.
Do I?
Yes. No.
I don't know.
When I walked into that gas station though, which was beautiful by the way, and I drive a Tesla, so I've been to a gas station in a long
We
time.
get it.
I feel like it was Moldovan owners because the amount of European exotic snacks that were there, like you could get cheese balls, but then you can also get Moldovan.
Sorry. Are you telling me there were other Moldovan treats
There was
that we could have gotten?
There was a whole.
We
there
gotta
was
go back.
We could do a whole
shelf.
Moldova taste
Yes,
test.
there was so much stuff because I walked in and I was like, oh, I was like, one, this gas station's beautiful, and two, I was like, holy fuck, there's so many options. And then the shelf, it was the very top shelf that had these Friends Luda thingies on them, and what looked like a big area, there was only 4 left. If I was more interested in being social, I would have asked her if there had been like an uptick in popularity because of the plug. Okay, so you guys have been plogging, which is the vlog and the vlog podcasting.
Yeah.
It's a
essentially.
podcast vlog.
It's a podcast vlog, a plug.
Yeah,
And-
it developed very naturally. It was there was one day where we were recording an episode and it really sucked. And we've been doing this for a while, so it was like, how do we just fucking? I told my
How do we
stories.
spice this up?
And we've told a lot of stories, and then there was this
Yeah.
feeling as we got older of like, maybe I don't want to share all my stories. Maybe I don't want to just be mining my life for content all the time. So what the fuck do we do? And in the middle of an episode, like we were 30 minutes in, it was one of the times I think Keith was in New York doing his off-Broadway show. So it was just me, Miles, and Rainey, and it was like, guys, this sucks. And we could feel
Be funny, Zach. Be funny.
the vibe was so off. Like we were just spinning our wheels. And it was like, it was not like, it wasn't this sucks in a way of we should feel bad. It was like, this sucks and we're all in this together and
Yeah.
we all know it sucks. And then it was just, should we just go get coffee? And it was like, yeah. And the pitch was, let's get coffee and we'll come back and keep recording the episode. But it was like, no. Let's bring the podcast to get coffee. And from there, we were off and running.
I cannot believe you didn't get kicked out of IKEA.
Yeah, we did an episode in IKEA, and in the showroom, we went into a little living room set.
You were literally interviewing Try Guys fans who happened to also be at IKEA at the same time.
You guys want to be on the blog?
I can't believe you didn't
college
get
is
kicked out.
starting up.
Yeah,
So-
that is the ideal time, and you ran into like super fans.
Yeah.
You know what's funny too is so some brands are cool, some brands are less cool.
Yeah.
And
Let's
obviously,
list all of them.
Okay, let's go.
well, like obviously, like yes, workers at IKEA. If you see people filming, like they should kick us out, right? But then it's the question of like, what does HQ think of? And I recently did a video where I went to Cheesecake Factory wearing body paint.
Oh
Did
yeah.
you know this
Instead
video?
of
You
clothing.
painted. I actually have that purple sweater, the cloud sweater that you painted onto your body.
Yeah,
from ASOS.
So I was naked but then I painted clothes on to make it look like I was wearing clothes.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Not
can't
all
believe you
ideas
didn't-
are good ideas.
First of all, I can't believe you didn't see this video, Jeremy. It's my magnum opus.
It's really good.
It's
It's
Jeremy
on my
has
list.
not watched a single LaurDIY video either, if it makes you feel
well,
better.
yeah, no, but this one's great.
Let's not make this an attack on me. Okay. So I'm
And-
watching this.
And but Cheesecake Factory loved it.
No.
The brand loved it.
When
Really?
you say
Yeah.
no clothes, like,
He had
He
he had like
literally-
little bike shorts on.
okay,
Yeah.
so no public indecency.
Yeah, no
It
no
was
ding
pretty
dongs.
indecent.
But like typically the no shirt rule, that would for sure apply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
You were
But, you
wearing
know,
shoes.
But what's a shirt?
We're making a lark of their restaurant, and the brand was like, "Yeah, this is hilarious. You guys want to work together?" And we're like, "Really? Cool."
Shut the fuck up. Really? They want to do a brand thing?
Hold on. Does
That's
Cheesecake Factory own
amazing.
Cheesecake Factory? Like, are they their own boss?
Yes.
They are?
Yeah.
I think that's why.
I believe they're not a subsidiary of
I think that's why. They've maintained a little bit of their soul.
Hey, so are you going to do an Eat the Menu Cheesecake Factory?
Yes.
Are we going to eat cheesecake?
Yeah, you're there for the cheesecake episode.
Shut the fuck up. I will bring my lactate. I'm so excited.
Yeah, obviously part 3 is cheesecakes and desserts.
By the way, a joint partnership
huge.
with Cheesecake Factory and Lactaid.
Oh, yeah. There's money there for sure.
By the way,
You know,
nothing's more natural.
I don't think Lactaid has any money.
What?
I don't think so either because I think they would have
Because
sponsored me
I've
already.
asked them also.
Yeah.
I'm like, Tums as well. And Tums is like, we'll send you some Tums. I'm like, fuck off! Send me some money! I was like, I can't believe they were like, we'll send you some Tums. I'm like, I can buy Tums. They're $4. They're for a lot. It's straight calcium, okay? I don't need you to give me Tums. Jeez, I hate when brands are like, I'll send you some product. I'm like, if it's like $100 product, yes.
That being said, when
I
you
get
you
that.
need a good Tums, you need a Tums.
I like Tums.
Yeah.
I
He
also enjoy
always
Tums.
has Tums on him.
Me
got
too.
Tums.
That's the thing about
Tums,
Keith.
Pepto, and Lactaid, and ibuprofen. I say strapped.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
I have. I think I ran out of the Tums in my car, but I used to have car Tums.
I've got
Sounds
Tums
like you
for
could use
sure.
some
Yeah,
Tums.
yeah,
Nice.
you ran out of car Tums because I took the last one.
That's one of the only things I feel like you can leave in a car for a long time.
I think
yeah.
it'll happen to
Totally
them.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, they're totally fine.
That is not
Oh
the
my
case
god,
with everything that's in your car, though.
You're so excited.
Oh my god. So Cheesecake Factory was not in Canada when I lived in Canada. So when I would come to the States, I would drive over to Buffalo to go to like this one specific mall called the Walden Galleria, and it was the nicest mall in my like 2
Is this prom dress
hour-
mall?
What?
Prom
this
dress
is
mall?
this is where we would all go from our hometown. We would cross the border to go get our prom dresses or semi-formal dresses, whatever. And
You get Cheesecake Factory, get your prom dress, little Moldovan treat,
Yes.
head back home.
3 for 3.
or Woodfield.
The trifecta. The trifecta. And it was like a mythical place to me.
Yeah. I actually never went to Cheesecake growing up because we didn't have it
What?
close to me in Tennessee.
Oh.
And then
Is it not a Southern chain?
it's definitely in major cities, but
It's
we
not
just
a Carthage, Tennessee
It's
chain.
absolutely not in Carthage.
Wow.
We had places called Brenda's, owned by Brenda, and that was like Carthage restaurants.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nashville, I think, did eventually have one, but my parents never went.
I've been to a Nashville Cheesecake Factory.
We went once to Cheesecake Factory when I moved to Illinois.
Oh.
And it was good, but I remember being very overwhelmed.
I mean, I order the same
was like,
thing
how do I
because the
get-
menu is just like so overwhelming.
Right.
Have you ever been to the Grand Deluxe?
No, but I've heard about
Which
it.
is
What is
Cheesecake Factory in cities.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, Grand, L-U-X-E, go in, Cheesecake Factory menu, just in Chicago, in New York,
Yeah.
in LA. Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean?
I mean, it's basically the same fucking menu.
It's like a sister restaurant.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they're like,
Sister.
how do we take all of the things we already have and just, like, you know when, was it Payless? They did Paylessy, and they just did that like little like experience.
Oh, and yeah. And
Yeah.
people thought it was like designer shoes.
It's that.
Yeah, I see.
And it's working.
Yeah.
Because every time I go to Chicago, I go, let's go there.
Well, I did a lot of research about Cheesecake Factory, obviously.
Yeah.
And they are, per restaurant, the highest grossing restaurant. Like each restaurant makes more money than any other chain's individual restaurants on average.
Wow.
What a flex.
Yeah, they make a ton, even though they have like a crate. You'd think they would make less because
Right.
they have so many offerings, but it's actually because of the ridiculousness of the menu that attracts so many people. The fact they're always in malls,
Yeah,
so they get
yeah.
foot traffic all hours of the day.
Right.
And people start at 6 a.m. to start prepping the food for that day every day.
I can't even imagine how many different things you need to prep for that many items on a menu.
Yeah, it's a lot.
You
If
don't
include
realize-
the cocktails. It's so many.
Lauren, you don't realize that you just stumbled into exclusive for the Tillies. Because we haven't even announced this yet to Try Guys fans
Yeah.
that we're doing a 3-party at the menu series.
I'm still blacking out over getting to go eat Cheesecake Factory. I'm so excited. So what's your favorite one? Mine's salted caramel.
I don't know.
Salted?
I haven't
Salted
had
caramel.
them.
What?
I've literally in my life until I went just the other day to film part 1. I've only eaten at Cheesecake Factory once, and I'm sure I had cheesecake, but I don't remember what I had. That was when I was like 19.
Shut the fuck up. I eat a lot of cheesecake, and Cheesecake Factory cheesecake is truly
It's good.
It is.
Do you know
top
there's
tier.
they have a bakery in California and a bakery in I think North Carolina. There's the only places all the Cheesecake Factory cheesecakes come from. The original Cheesecake Factory was in Los Angeles.
There's only
the
2 factories.
The original restaurant was in Beverly Hills. Yeah, it's born here.
Do you think
That's
they call
bougie.
it? Do they call it the Cheesecake Factory?
No, they're both the bakery was called the Cheesecake Factory. When their son opened up the restaurant, he called it the Cheesecake Factory.
Like you can just name things like their name. Like
I guess
Wow.
when your parents own the IP, you get a little more leeway.
Wow. And then I know you have a special place in your heart for Outback Steakhouse. How does Outback compare to Cheesecake Factory for you?
It's nowhere near as good as cheesecake. I mean, I've had the first part of the menu, and granted, I'm filming it there in conjunction with them, which is not normal for Eat the Menu, right?
Okay, right.
So they can guarantee that everything tastes better for me, but
They have like their premier chef.
their
cooking
their
for you.
West Coast
corporate chef?
is doing all of them.
Oh,
So it's been delicious. Not everything
this is
I've liked.
insane. I feel like we're not like really
but also
resonating in
the fact that you know this
the
much
whackness
information.
of this.
He's
He's a professional.
Yeah, every time I do an Eat the Menu on my commute to wherever we're going, I will just fill my YouTube feed with a bunch of people who do like deep dives or histories of.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
listen to the history of it to get really familiar. And there's one, I think it's a channel. It's called History of Fast Food or something like that, and they do really good restaurant like
Deep dives.
sort of histories. And then I always do my stupid little. In 1971, blah 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 blah. But it helps me remember everything because I've heard a much more interesting person talk about it than myself.
What's the most you've ever spent on an Eat the Menu video? Like what restaurant
this
was?
one is going to be the most, but
But are you also making money?
not from that. I mean, YouTube ad revenue, we make money.
Oh, they're not sponsoring it. They're
No.
just giving you the exclusive.
But we are
chef
doing
and
a
stuff.
separate
I see.
social video sponsorship.
Got
But
it, got
this
it,
is
got it.
just because this is my Super Bowl, right? Eating the
Yeah.
Cheesecake Factory. It's more items than ever.
This is my Super Bowl as well.
Yeah, and so and people are always like, "Why don't you ever eat in the restaurant?" And normally it's because like I want to have editorial say over what I'm
For
doing. And they said, "Yeah, you can say whatever you want as long as we can make it as good as we can." I'm like, "Okay, that's fair."
Wait, that's a great deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're chill and game.
And
for
we're
this.
still buying all the food.
Got it.
So
got
like
it.
I'm paying for everything.
Right. So this will be the most expensive one.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like,
Most of them though, like what? You got the whole Taco Bell menu. We looked at that the other day. It was like what? A couple hundred?
yeah, a couple $100.
Do you email them beforehand and are like, "Hey, can I?" You just roll up and you're like,
Sometimes. I used to call the fast food restaurants, like
Yeah.
the chain we would go to, and I'd be like, "Hey, I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna buy the whole menu. Can I like put it in now so you like are ready for it?" They're like,
Mm-hmm.
"No, just come in." And I'm like,
and no matter who's
I'm
working
really
that
gonna do
day-
this. It's gonna like fuck you guys up.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yeah, it's okay. Just come in."
You're like,
All right.
the 16-year-olds who are making the tacos are like, "What the fuck?"
But now we break it apart and do multiple trips to the restaurant. So we're only getting like 20 items at a time, both so they stay fresh longer and
Yeah.
also so there's fewer mistakes. Whenever we would order the whole thing, there'd be mistakes like crazy.
That makes sense, right? They forget
Obviously,
things.
it's too many
Yeah.
things to juggle.
Yeah.
So it's better for everybody. But like for the chains, I don't really tell them now that we do the 15 to 20 items at a time. They should
Yeah.
be able to do that. That's
Yeah.
like just a big order.
That's like for a group.
Yeah.
Is there a restaurant that you've been avoiding because it'll fuck you up?
This.
This one.
Let's fucking go.
But I've broken it into 3 parts. But I was at the end of any Eat the Menu at the end of part 1.
And how do you break it apart? Just out of curiosity.
This one is just like literally like the first third of the book.
It was so funny watching our one of our producers, Desiree. She had the Cheesecake Factory booklet. You know, the
menu.
menu's a book,
Right.
And she was just flipping through and like creating her little call sheet to figure out what order we're going to do things in.
Yeah, we did
That's her
all
job.
the appetizers, the small plates and snacks, the appetizer salads, the salads, and the glam burgers for the first episode.
I love a glam burger.
That's for episode 1.
And let me say, everything was really quite good. Spoilers. I mean, there were definitely things I didn't like or liked less than
Yeah,
other things,
yeah.
but the chicken taquitos were fucking
Oh.
phenomenal.
Oh.
I was blown away. And I also realized the taquitos are cannolis.
Oh,
What?
It's a chicken cannoli.
It's a savory cannoli, or a cannoli is a sweet taquito.
how however you want to look at that.
But normally, we always think of taquitos as the really small ones, like frozen, but theirs are a little juicy, like a cannoli. So I was like, wait a minute. Taquitos are cannolis.
Oh my God.
Like in real time, had that realization.
I was eating them and I was like, holy shit, that's a cannoli.
What's your Super Bowl?
I don't know. Like, what's my video
what's your
content?
Super Bowl?
What's your
Yeah.
Super Bowl?
I feel called out now.
Is it candid competition?
Maybe we're
Yeah.
talking about we have a couple more that we're gonna do, and they're ridiculously stupid, and that'll probably be my Super Bowl.
Yeah, I feel like that's your Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I think the last season of that was at the time your Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because it was so narrative. It had so many scenes that were completely irrelevant.
No, it went in depth.
You just call it your Super Bowl irrelevant.
Well, parts of it.
Irreverent.
Irreverent and irrelevant.
Oh, I think irrelevant.
I did say irrelevant, but I think it was both irreverent and irrelevant.
I was crying during the IKEA plug of that baby roasting the shit out of you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So
Like
funny.
that's why the plug is so great though, because like you just can't plan a bit that is that good. It was so funny.
Yeah.
This woman showed up with her baby and who was in IKEA and was like, "Oh my God, my baby knows your voices." Well, Keith and Miles, the baby knows your voices, and Zach.
Let's so.
It's because I guess the baby's dad really likes to watch Perfect Person, Miles' podcast, and eat the menu, my show, but not any other content.
There's something about that that's just so pure.
But the way she presented it too was like, oh my God, she loves you and you, and less so you.
It's like, not all information's good. Like, that's okay.
The delivery was so funny.
It was so
Did the kid recognize? No?
The kid was a baby.
Okay.
It was an actual baby.
I mean, it was
a
a
baby.
literal baby.
Okay.
Yeah.
A literal,
But she still
literal
felt
baby.
called to like dish out that info.
Yes, it was
We
very
loved that.
funny.
It was a very impactful one. So what you're talking about is definitely the Keith Habersberger school of content, which is that reality is always going to be more magical than what we plan.
Nathan
Yeah.
Fielder.
Well, sort of, because he's very orchestrated,
True.
right? And
Yeah.
then he allows real people to be wild cards in a scenario, and then
Right.
he's planned for every inevitability. And that's something that, like, I'm a very overly constructed person with my creativity.
Sounds time consuming.
I'm underly constructed, I would say. Sometimes not enough does happen.
And so I think the marriage of it leads to really lovely different things. But that embracing chaos is something we've become quite fond of.
I was crying. And also that one girl was just so open to like giving you like the tea on her IKEA drama. And I was like, let's fucking go, bitch. Give us the tea. I was dying. It was a great episode.
Has IKEA reached out?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I don't know if I've ever seen IKEA do a content sponsor before,
They
to
don't
be
need
honest.
to.
Yeah. For like, who isn't aware of them?
Yeah.
Well, think about how impactful it would be then when they reach out to us.
That'd be huge.
Yeah,
With
no,
a cease
no,
and desist.
I've already eaten the menu there and they didn't say anything. Normally, like Applebee's
that's true.
sent me like a fucking, or TGI Friday sent me a box like of like TGI Friday mugs. I'm like, okay, thanks.
Perfect.
I
Does
guess.
Sweden
Yeah.
does not have YouTube, maybe?
They send me cards that are like, thanks so much. We're so glad you did this. If you want to come back and eat some more, let us know. And I'm like, I'm pretty good. Thanks. I ate it all. I ate it all. It was
I
fine.
literally ate it all.
Thank you.
Like parking voucher.
It has become like, partly I initially did it for the feet, but I also did it for the fact that when you go somewhere, you always get the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. And it's dangerous to take the risk and order outside of your favorite thing.
'Cause what if you hate it?
What if it sucks?
Yeah.
Or what if it's even just fine?
It's even almost even worse. Yeah.
Because you're like, I
great.
guess I'll eat it. And then you like go and you smell something in the food court and you're like, oh, I wish I'd eaten that. That's the worst. But yeah, it's information. People get to learn through me if they should venture outside of their comfort zone.
I feel like even outside of that, people love a mukbang where they just like to eat with people while they're eating.
They do.
And you eat for a long time. And so that gives you the opportunity to also probably cook and prepare a meal and then also eat your meal and
Yeah.
you're still eating the menu.
The episodes are about an hour long. And we normally film for 5.5 hours of eating.
The one that you just filmed, our editor, we were talking to her and she's like, I don't see how this is going to be any shorter than 90 minutes. And we're like, you know what? Go for
Send
it.
it.
Like,
Let's
okay.
see what happens.
Send
That was
it.
for part 2 of Starbucks because we did part 1 like 2 years ago, and I said I would do part 2 the next summer, and I didn't. And we finally did it, and there were 120 items for part 2
There's
of Starbucks.
120
for
items.
part 2.
Of the summer,
Holy shit.
what it's like
Yeah,
summer
so it's like,
menu,
Less than a minute for each one.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a Taco Bell Starbucks, I realized.
Wow.
There's only like 30 different things, but you can make infinite drinks out of those 30 things.
Yeah, that's right.
Speaking of leaving food in cars, Zach's favorite pastime is leaving.
Oh yeah, apparently you left
salmon.
You left salmon once in their car.
I did it twice.
That is too many times to leave.
So there was one. I don't even remember what movie we were seeing.
We're going to
but
see a comedy show.
That was
is
the
what
first
it
time.
was?
That was
Okay.
the first time.
Yeah, y'all picked me up at the house, and I just didn't have enough time to like make my dinner. So I
Brought your salmon with
It was
you.
literally like they were there, and I took the salmon out of the oven. Like the oven was on, and I just dropped like scalding hot salmon into a Tupperware and ate it in the back seat because nutrition's important.
And your time management isn't great. So then anyway, we go into the next part though, where then Zach continues to leave containers of half-eaten salmon in the back of our cars.
By the way, though, the time that we went to the comedy show was in between my hospital visits. It was when my leg was infected, but it like wasn't confirmed infected yet. And they were like, no, you can go out into the world. But I'm like, I'm oozing. And so we were in a comedy show. We saw like Nick Kroll, Tiffany Haddish,
Roy Kent. Roy Kent. I forget his
Brett Gelstein.
Goldstein.
Yeah.
It was something Jewish sounding. And I like had to sneak away to the bathroom to like get napkins to pat down my oozing leg. So you're welcome for that image.
That's perfect. That's a
Yuck.
goose us into our next topic, which I want to talk about.
You have topics?
What?
How many topics do you have prepared?
We're on item 3 of 120.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Buckle up. Everyone who listens to this pod knows that I have always championed life's cozier moments.
Complained about the ones that weren't.
Think of that feeling when you first step into a warm bath after a cold day, or literally any day. I'm not kidding. I literally just stepped out of the bathtub, a 2 p.m. little bath. I was just like feeling cold, and so I had like a little 20 minute bath.
I love that for you.
Or snuggling up on the couch with your favorite book. Well, clearly you would want your bed to give you the same feeling, right? That's the magic that Buffy bedding sprinkled into my nights. It's not just lying down. It's like nestling into a cloud that knows exactly how to cradle you. Let's chat about the Breeze sheet set from Buffy. Ever felt the shock of waking up in a pool of your own sweat?
No,
because me neither.
No, but I do know what it's like to wake up in a pool of your sweat.
No, never mind. I also haven't either.
Sure.
I've never battled the dreaded night sweats.
It's like your brand.
Hot, cold, hot.
God. So enter the Breeze sheets, my nightly savior, ensuring that I wake up refreshed and not drenched, even though I've never been drenched in my entire life.
Yeah,
from sweating.
right. Put that on a t-shirt. I will say, without a doubt, these are the softest sheets I've ever crawled into. And in comparison, our previous sheets might as well have been made of like grit. Crafted with eucalyptus, their texture surpasses that of cotton or linen, but it's not just about the softness. The eucalyptus weave contributes to their cooling nature, and studies have shown eucalyptus to be more breathable than cotton and linen, making it an ideal choice for those who tend to heat up at night.
Which is not me.
No, yeah, sure, for sure not you.
Buffy products are consistently on best of lists. Architectural Digest and Glamour named the Buffy Breeze sheet set the best bed sheets of 2023.
Yeah, but like we said that they were the best
We
sheets of
also said
2023.
that. See for yourself why Buffy has over 50,000 five-star reviews. Shipping is free. And if you don't love your Buffy sheets, there's a 50-night return policy on all orders with free shipping on returns and no return fees. But trust me, after one night, you will be sold.
Upgrade your bedding with the Breeze sheet set by Buffy. Go to buffy.co and use code WILD for 25% off your first order. That's buffy.co, promo code WILD for 25% off. Did you know? Search trends show that the desire to learn a new language is soaring, and it especially spikes in the fall. As the leaves change, why not change up your skills too? With the holiday season just around the corner, surprise everyone with a new language.
With Babbel, in just 3 weeks, you could be speaking a new language fluently. Just imagine the looks on your family's faces when you greet them in another language at the next holiday gathering. I could already imagine my mom's face if I came home speaking French fluently. She'd be like, oh my God, wow, your education is paying off. And just kidding. No, it's Babbel.
We love Babbel's 10-minute lessons. They actually help you learn the language and conversational skills you need for real-life interactions. Their lessons are designed by over 150 language experts and are approachable, accessible, and perfect for real conversations. No more paying exorbitant fees for private tutors. No more time-wasting apps that treat language like a mere game.
I love how convenient Babbel is. Short, impactful lessons mean I can learn on the go. Whether it's during a caffeine break or a long drive, I can now feel confident next time I travel that I'll be able to communicate properly without constantly looking down at my phone translation app. So if you're looking to travel without the language barrier holding you back, give Babbel a shot.
With over 10 million subscriptions sold, Babbel is real language learning for real conversations. Here's a special limited time deal for our listeners to get you started right now. Get 55% off your Babbel subscription, but only for our listeners at babbel.com/wild. Get 55% off at babbel.com/wild, spelled BABBEL.com/wild. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Can we have a Cheesecake Factory callback because I put too much work into this? How much money do you think the whole menu costs?
Oh, do I think the whole menu costs?
No beverages, just the food.
No beverages.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
And
let me
no
think.
complete cheesecakes. Just
Does this
one
include?
slice of each.
Okay,
Does this
so-
include tax and also
No.
kitchen fee?
Absolutely
No.
No
Okay,
tip.
let me think.
How many pages is the menu?
So many. It's like a chapter book.
It's like a 9-plex.
I want to know, Keith, what thought process your brain's going through, because you're thinking of
How many things you
how
ate?
much, like, let's say Taco Bell costs, and you're probably saying, okay, well, those are a third of the price, and also there's X
will you
menu
math
items
out
more.
loud for us?
Yeah, so what I was doing just then is like, okay, I think there's about 187-ish food items.
You said
in-
about
Damn.
187?
somewhere in there.
7-inch.
Somewhere in there. And
Very
that
specific
includes
number.
the cheesecakes. I know that there are 40 cheesecakes and there are 56, I think, total desserts. So there's
Okay.
only 16 other desserts.
Are we doing
Desserts
cheesecake by the slice or by the cake?
by the
By
slice.
the slice. By the
Okay.
slice.
The slice is going to be somewhere between $5 and $8. Probably the other desserts are probably like $7 to $10. Everything else I'm averaging at $20.
Yeah.
So 140 items at $20. So that's
You think it's average $20?
I was gonna guess more than that.
Fuck
but
inflation.
there's some stuff that's like 12, some stuff that's going to be 30.
Like 30,
I'm
yeah.
just averaging. So let's say that's $2,800. Then you have your 40 times, let's say 7. That's $280 more dollars. Where are we there?
This hurts
That's
my brain.
100.
3,100. And then let's take the last 16 or more, like $10, another $160. So let's say it's $3,300 is my guess.
I'm going to take the under.
I'm taking over.
I'm gonna go over.
It is way over. It's $5,063.
Whoa.
What's the number?
Wait,
5,000 what?
5,000.
$5,063.59.
Well, that's how much it's going to cost us to eat the menu.
Plus production.
Plus production,
tip. Plus
yeah.
taxes.
No, everyone works for passion.
Oh man.
That's a lot.
It's a lucky thing.
Oh shit. So there's the answer to my question for the pod is how much.
Well, how
is
much do they
there-
usually cost?
Less.
200.
No, but I mean, I think the TGI Fridays and the Applebee's ones are normally a couple $1,000s.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Because there's a lot of food. There's always like 70 to 90 items.
Wow.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's also like, it's a fucking job.
Yeah, I'm an athlete.
Yeah.
I'm getting more and more nervous for my existence on Cheesecake Day.
Well, you're only going to be there for like 7 to 8 bites. Or 7 to 8 slices. Because
Oh,
that's
thank
how
God.
the show works. The people come in, they come in for sections.
Oh, thank God.
So you're
Thank
not
God.
going to eat 40 cheesecakes
Thank
with me. You're
God.
gonna you get to have a nice experience. But what's fun for you is you come in somewhere in my experience. So you might get me early and I'm like very up.
Right.
Or you might get me in the middle or I'm starting to die.
You're ill.
Or you might get me where the end where I am dead.
Right. Okay.
And I'm just
Okay.
like very
Oh
struggling.
my God, I cannot wait. I'm re-excited. You've reinvigorated my spirit.
It's going to be fun.
I'm so excited.
And we're also shooting each part at a different cheesecake factory. just for the fun of it.
But will people still be there? Are they closing it down or?
We start at 8 in the morning.
Good.
Sweet. So I'll take a day. I'll take a call time later on in the day.
And the late is like 11 a.m.
Perfect for lunch.
Yeah.
For brunch.
Yeah, and you can stay and you can eat real food if you wanted.
I think if I eat pieces of
Eight cheesecake
cheesecakes,
bites.
that is lunch. Yeah.
That might be all you can handle.
That's all lunch. Yeah.
Yeah.
With a side of
Hot girl
lactate.
lunch.
Yeah. Hot
Hot
girl
girl
lunch.
lunch,
Hot girl
8
lunch.
bites of cheesecakes.
And some lactate.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say though is that you are both married men. Zach, you of recently. I
Yeah.
sobbed like a crying little baby at your wedding. But as we venture into our wedding planning journey, did anything go wrong at either of your weddings?
Not a thing.
Thank you.
You go second. You go second. Keith, go ahead.
Not really. We thought we lost a pair of pants, but we didn't.
That was in the video as well.
Yeah.
That was in the video.
It had
Okay.
just fallen off the hanger.
So that's it. That was the worst thing that
Yeah, I
happened
don't
that
think
day?
anything else.
You had wedding crashers.
Oh, there were children that crashed the wedding.
Like fans?
Yeah.
Or just random teens who knew that was a wedding venue on the weekends.
No way.
But I assume they were fans.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What did you do?
I didn't know about it until they were gone.
Oh, that's good. So someone dealt with it.
And
they
then
were
honestly,
like,
I was kind of like, good for them.
Yeah, it's cool.
You know,
funny.
like they didn't actually cause any drama. They have
Yeah.
a great story. Sure, I don't care.
wow.
As long as
So
they
if you're
didn't.
listening to this and you find out where Lauren and Jeremy's wedding is,
Oh, we already shared where it is.
come on by.
Come on by, crash it
Come
up.
on by.
We'll have the same attitude. Good
know,
for you guys. I'm
funny
glad
thing,
you're here.
The funny thing was, and they say that it's a lot of places, they're like, okay, you can't, we'll have the open bar, but we're not going to let people do shots. So don't even ask. And we're like, okay. So we like had that in our mind.
Mm-hmm.
We get there, and right before the ceremony, they're like, do you guys want a round of shots before the ceremony? I'm like, you told us that wasn't allowed, and now you're offering it to us. Like, the bridal party. And I'm like, but that's only going to set a precedent to
Right.
all of them. And then they totally gave people shots
Oh my
the
God.
whole night. It was not a thing.
Do you recommend putting forth your wedding had shots?
So here's the okay. Similarly, the person who was putting on our wedding, he was like, "Hey, we can do a shots bar." We did. I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't want a shots bar. This is a destination wedding, cobblestone streets in Mexico. Like, I don't want someone to like trip and crack their head open.
And
like,
a girl did end up having to have surgery on.
well, don't put that on me.
She was dancing.
It was a freak thing.
I saw her go
MCL
down.
got like she tore her
Right.
meniscus
So
or
you
something.
pushed her, right? And then she fell.
Yeah.
And then,
No, it
No,
just
she wasn't even on cobblestone. She was just like
on the
she
dance
was
floor. Her just
busting
leg
it
gave
down.
out. I know,
Yeah.
really
She
sad.
danced too hard. It
She
was
just
sad.
danced. No, I saw it happen. I was
know.
like, oh no. And then
That's just a freak thing. It sucks. But the shots had nothing to do with it.
yeah. Liability.
The shots had nothing to do with it. But he was like shots bar, and we're like, hey, we really don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to start that precedent. He's like, okay, we'll throw it in for free. And I'm like, oh no,
Not a negotiating
You're
tactic.
a
Sorry.
good haggler, sir.
sorry, no, I think you don't understand. Like, I don't want shots. This is a
you're like, I actually don't want anyone to do
Okay,
a shot.
I pay you.
And I explained the reason why. And he was like, okay, I understand. And then we got there. Shots, it wasn't a shots bar. It was shots on platters
Yeah.
being passed out. And the bartenders, like the servers, like throwing it back with guests. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And I think they were maybe watered down because people were throwing them back. But luckily everything turned out fine and it was okay. No one got hurt except for
They were definitely not watered down. I just want to confirm that those were straight shots.
Yeah, I had some, and they were shots.
And
Okay,
those were
there
shots.
you go.
They were shots.
Those
I was
were
trying
The
to make
servers were
myself
coming
feel
around
better.
like finding us with like
Yeah.
fresh ones.
But
to
my
replace them.
favorite
Yeah.
thing about your wedding and in Mexico in general were small beers. There were these small beers.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I loved it because they were, instead of like a 12-ounce or a 16-ounce beer, they were like 10 or 8. So they were small beers, and which made you drink less because you'd get a beer and walk away with it. And while you drink it faster, it takes longer to get in. You're not guzzling.
Sure.
Normally, when you get to a certain level of drunk, you can just drink without thinking. Well, if you have a smaller beer, you can't drink as much without thinking.
Right,
So
right.
but you still feel like you're drinking the same volume. So you have that effect that you're getting drunker without getting as drunk as you are. And you're like, wow, I've had like 15 beers. I'm the king of the world. You've had like 8 beers.
I also enjoy like
15 mini
Which
baby
is too many,
beers.
but
like
that's also too
the
many.
last couple ounces of like beer that gets a little warm too eliminates that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think our guy was like, oh, this is a take edibles crowd. We got to up this alcohol bill.
I take animals kind of crowd.
Yeah.
Oh, your wedding was so much fun. So Zach and Maggie had this, instead of doing a guest book, you guys did the
Telephone.
The telephone.
Yeah. Yeah, it was super cool. I think it's called After the Tone.
Yeah.
And it's like an old rotary phone. You pick it up, you start leaving a message. And so you can get it pressed into a vinyl, which we haven't done yet, but
Cute.
we have like,
That'd be terrible.
yeah,
That's terrible. Just playing it and just having a bunch of random people talking. That's not what I
No,
want.
fast forward a little bit. Yeah, no, I think it's this part. No, go back.
but we have, I want to say, like 45 minutes of recording. And it's just, people right after the ceremony, people during the party,
Cute.
all sorts of moments. And then, of course, like then you get people progressively drunker and drunker and drunker. Actually, I should say the first person on our recording is Lauren. Well, actually, it's Lauren for a second, and then she goes, I can't do this. I'm crying too much. Jeremy, you take the phone.
I remember that. Yeah.
And then you took the phone.
And then Kelsey?
Yeah, maybe.
And then I think Kelsey
And then you
was
tried it again later. But it was really nice because
Didn't go well.
yeah, because we didn't listen to it for months. We like we waited and
Yeah.
then like made a night of it, and you know poured a bottle of wine, some weed soda, and sat and just listened to everybody. It
That's
was
one of
really
those
nice.
things where like
That's
Lauren's like
so
really excited about
sweet.
doing it, and then she starts, and then immediately goes, "I don't want to do this," and hands it to me. And I was like, "I didn't
I
want."
know. I was so excited about it. And then immediately, because we had also just left the ceremony where I sobbed the entire time. And so I needed more time in between that sobbing and another round of crying.
Yeah.
I think to compose myself. I thought I was ready. I was not ready.
I also think that Keith, your calling is just being at the head of weddings.
A wedding officiant.
Oh my God. If YouTube does not work out for you, you need to be.
It's going to be
gotta fall back.
It's going to be a huge step down in career, I think.
You're
What about,
so
I guess if I
good
just
at
did
it.
celebrities, maybe. I've done
Yeah.
2 now.
Well, because you did YBU right after Zach, right? And
Yeah.
how did it go? Did it go well?
Yeah.
Interestingly, he cried during that ceremony and not mine, which is weird.
I think everyone was just concerned for you the entire time that you could start oozing internationally at any moment.
International ooze.
I worked so much harder to not cry, but when I got to YB's, as soon as I got there, YB's mother came over and she was just like, thank you so much for officiating today. It means so much to her. Can I give you a hug? And then all they did was fill me with emotion. The lead up, and I'm like, I'm really trying not to.
So your cup was full by the
Oh my
time you
God.
got to the
Yes,
front.
all
yeah.
they were like, it means so much. It means so much to us on this day. It's the most perfect gift you could give. And I'm like, oh my God, it's so nice. And I'm just like starting to cry then. I'm like, oh no. And then
Meanwhile, my wedding, my parents like, everyone get in the fucking bus.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I love yours and Maggie's parents. Like they're so funny. They're also just such a funny juxtaposition between the two sets of parents. And like it works, but they're so funny. Maggie's
works.
mom and your mom were sitting behind me in line for the
Tacos, the churros.
churros.
Oh yeah.
And your mom made a comment about how someone was taking a lot of churros, and I was crying. Margot was like, she was ready to step in and control the churro.
I'm
consumption
surprised
line.
she waited in line.
You know what? As
Mother of the groom!
mother of the groom,
Yeah.
she really didn't have to.
I was one of those people who had lots of tacos at your wedding and lots of churros.
We
at
didn't
the
want to say,
next
but
party.
she was talking about you.
I took a lot.
It was you.
It was delicious.
As you should have.
I was just good at knowing it was about to open. I went right at the beginning of the line, and I'm like, I'll have 4.
That look of like, how many do you want? You get to pick.
And then I'll do 4. And then I came back and got in line for real, and I got back to the room. I was like, I'll have 3?
What late night noms are you thinking about? Because that's real important.
Zach, our menu
Oh,
is.
you want me to read you the menu?
Should I do an eat the menu at your wedding?
Honestly,
We're doing family style, so you get to eat everything.
Wow.
eat the menu. LaurDIY's wedding, I think would
That
crush.
would
Yeah, it would do well.
Our menu, look, it should be written with a Crayola. Just
Oh yeah,
Okay,
which
how
means
about
it's
this?
going to be
Is it
incredible.
just macaroni?
speaking of Crayola,
Yes.
Chicken
how does
fingers.
one pronounce
Yes.
the other word that comes after Crayola? Or
Crayon?
Crayon.
Or crane?
Oh, here we
Crayon.
go.
just
Crayon?
crayon?
I say crayon.
I'm a crayon guy.
crayon.
And Lauren,
Crayon. You
I know.
Americans. You
Is that-
American
I
fucks.
think I say it like
Crayon.
Crayon.
Thank God.
Crayon.
Thank you so much.
I don't know why.
but I don't know where I got
Pass
crayon
me the
from.
crayons.
Okay, wait. How about this pitch? Is that you let us come to your wedding, let's say 2 hours before guests.
I was gonna say you're gonna be allowed to come to the wedding.
Yeah. 2 hours before guests. You may have your caterer serve us one of everything.
Okay.
We eat in the venue. We'll give you 20% of AVOD.
That's a great starting place.
25?
Or
That's a great start.
or $5,167, however much the cheesecake would cost.
Yeah, just wait until you see like the line items. Like she orders on the side. I'll get 2 pastas, 4 cheesecakes.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
So for tray past appies, we've got bacon wrapped scallops,
Yum.
which
Fuck
were
yeah. Hell yes.
delicious.
Hell yes.
They were so
I know
good.
those are going to be the best thing.
Artisanal flatbread
Yeah.
Sure.
with pepperoni and a hot honey drizzle though.
Fun.
Fire. Fire. Wagyu beef sliders.
Yum.
Served with
slide
cute
right
hot
in.
A
sauce.
pretzel bun.
Slide right
specifically.
into me.
Interesting. A chewy slide.
Creamy mac and cheese with black truffle
Pass.
Okay.
in a little cup.
Zach's going to love that.
Zach will be sharding at table 4.
Am I at
okay.
table 4?
I don't know. We have no idea. I don't even know what kind of tables we're doing yet. There might not, I have no idea. No idea.
No tables.
We've also got the charcuterie and cheese station, which is going to
Naturally.
have a whole.
Hell yeah.
Call
Yeah,
it what it is:
exactly.
the imported domestic cheese and sliced
I
charcuterie
love
meats.
a grazing table.
I love a grazing table as
There's
well.
never
too.
grazing tables at weddings.
I
You have
know.
to catch people.
I feel like it's getting more popular though. Grazing tables are getting more popular. I did it for my birthday last year, and it was such a hit because like there's just no pressure. You
I
know,
just stand by it the whole party.
it's a meeting spot.
It's the best place
Yeah,
to be.
it's a
I love them
best
little
place.
dried fruits.
And the nuts.
And the nuts.
And yeah, pistachios that are unwrapped.
Oh, yeah.
You can eat them by the handful.
Oh, yeah.
My God.
Luxury.
It's crazy.
The richest nut.
Okay, so moving on to we've got the avocado citrus salad, and so this is going to be plated before we go into
course.
family style. So this
You're not shoveling that with your hand.
we're not shoveling that with hands. So for entrees, we've got medallions of filet mignon
Yum.
with a sauce of wild mushroom and cabernet,
Very nice.
a
Okay,
black
classic.
garlic and miso glazed sea bass. Zach,
Let's
you actually
fucking
picked this
go.
one out. A
I
butter.
picked it out.
Yeah, remember I gave you a list of options, and you were like, "This would be my favorite fish of those fishes."
that sounds.
That's the fish you
I'm
picked.
It
smart.
does sound good.
I'm smart.
I don't even eat fish, and this fish was good. We went for the tasting. It was
It's the first
really
time I
good.
ever saw you fish.
I know.
Whoa.
Butternut
First.
squash ravioli was delicious.
Which kind of ravioli?
Butternut squash.
Butternut squash.
Is that the
Butternut.
vegan option, or is it like a ravioli with butter?
That's the vegetarian option. There is a vegan option, but I don't know what exactly is vegan on the menu.
Okay.
There's only a few of you guys.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I know. Our producer is also vegan.
Few of you guys.
You can bring your own.
Okay, for sides, we've got charred Brussels sprouts with maple and brown sugar butter.
Classique.
Yum.
Oh, the butter. Oh, you
We
fucked it up.
love Brussels.
We fucked
We
it up.
love
Really?
Brussels.
Really?
Fucked it up.
And then we've got mashed potatoes with sweet cream butter and garlic.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
We want potatoes with our beef medallions.
Yeah, we do.
Why is everything wrapped in another meat?
And then we've got our cake cutting. And then for dessert station, we've got these liquid cheesecake shots that have graham cracker crumble on it. And it's like a little mini, what?
That sounds gross. I bet it's delicious, but liquid cheesecake shots with graham cracker. I don't know why that seems gross to me.
It's just cheesecake in a mini shot glass, basically.
Is it liquid?
No.
How thin is it? Because when I think liquid, I don't think very
It's
viscous.
not liquid. It's not liquid.
Okay.
Very
No.
viscousy.
I think between whatever the middle ground between a cheesecake and a pudding is,
Like
maybe
a jello, but
more
You think Boston
thicker.
cream pie is
a
like
gelatinous.
No, because that would be,
Custard.
it's still like creamy.
It's just a custard.
I was full on picturing a shot glass of cum.
graham
cup of
With
cum.
graham
Yeah,
cracker crumble on top.
texture.
Perfect.
and a little bit of lime.
Mini churros
Yum.
fucking go.
Here we go.
and macarons.
Yum.
fucking go.
And then
chicken tenders.
Sorry. Late night bites, fried chicken and waffles with maple sriracha syrup and French fries.
That's good. Yeah, you need chicken tenders on the dessert bar.
Yeah, everybody loves a little chicky.
McDonald's wanted to sponsor our engagement party, so I'm gonna
Stop.
see if I
What
can
the fuck?
maybe
You can't just glaze it. What? How? What?
Will Ronald be there?
who's the Grimace is coming.
Oh, you're kidding me.
You?
That would be fucking sick.
That would be insane.
could you be like Grimace as a DJ?
That would be fucking iconic.
DJ Grimace.
I'm just saying.
DJ Grimace.
Anyways, I'm gonna try and work out to see if we could do some kind of late night McDonald's delivery
Wow.
Love that.
because that would
That'd be
be
so bomb.
sick. Nuggies.
Now, a
Yeah.
huge dilemma that I've brought to your attention is one of our best friends on the whole planet was planning his wedding and was eyeing your same wedding date.
Yeah.
I know. And I told you guys to tell him, I was like, my save the date is already on your fucking fridges. And this motherfucker is slacking on his planning.
Yeah.
I will say we almost fucked up bad and put our wedding in the middle of Coachella on accident.
Which isn't a problem for us and would only be a problem for the friends that we would have to eventually cut out of our lives if they chose Coachella
Immediately.
over our wedding.
Can you think in your head?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they would.
Yes, I can.
Sorry, I
got a brand deal with
brand deal.
Levi's. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I could go to weekend too, but you just
just
know
not
that
the
that's
same.
not the
It's not
same.
cool.
How about Stagecoach? You want to go to Stagecoach instead? So anyway, so I know we're duking it out with who is still not chosen a date.
Still
though.
hasn't chosen
Okay,
a date. He's
not
a
a
real
problem.
slacker.
I think they have, but it's going to be tough because I don't think theirs is in the country.
I
Yeah.
know.
That's
I
tough.
know.
I don't think it's that tough at all. I think that's a decision you've already made.
But we could go on a cool vacation.
You could.
No, I fully. Lauren told me that it would be my head on a chopping block.
Oh,
Yeah.
if I saw that we invited somebody that we were that close to and they were, we had
Frolicking
plans.
internationally at another person's
It's
wedding.
helpful for me to know that my circle got smaller.
I got you Moldovan trees.
No, I've already made the choice, but I like the imagined stress that we might choose the other.
Honestly, wedding planning hasn't been stressful though. The hardest part is getting Jeremy to commit to decisions.
Okay, next topic.
Do you ever get a really, really good idea and then you're like, fuck, but if only there's no title for it?
Yes, all the
Yeah,
time.
all the time.
All the time.
YouTube really.
When I tell you,
punishes
never. Never in my life.
Wow.
Never mind. But I understand why a real professional would have that issue.
Yeah.
I don't know if I might ask them to cut this because it's too good of an idea.
Oh.
But the other day, the one we came up with is we invite pizza delivery guys and then they get there and there's two options. Drop pizza here to give up or enter the world's greatest escape room maze.
What could go wrong?
What do you title that? Pizza Man versus Escape Room.
I bet Mr. Beast's team could do it.
Yeah, but they're going to get a guaranteed amount of views just by uploading to the Mr. Beast channel.
You're so right.
So,
Some would say the same about you.
Deliver the
yeah.
pizza if you can get through.
No.
See,
Yeah,
it's
that's
like-
tough. That's tough. That's
But
tough.
it's so good.
Thumbnail wise, you're golden.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, like that's an easy one, but the title, yeah, that's tough. We can workshop this.
You guys have just done so much shit.
Yeah.
Like the whole thought of like trying things that are new all the time. Did you ever think about how difficult eventually that would become?
Didn't realize.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't realize that,
We'll just keep improving.
that we're going to hit a wall.
Right, 9 years,
3 years ago.
10
There
years.
is other stuff to do. I don't want to do it.
I don't think that ideas are the problem. If you want the real answer,
Yeah.
it's because we trying stuff. It's all just based on what people love and experiences out in the world. Like it's not limitless, but we certainly haven't found the limit yet. I think the real challenge is just in the cadence of release that YouTube requires and that a team of our size requires, and keeping
Right.
everything up to a certain quality threshold.
Right.
That's where the challenge comes in.
hard.
Then you get videos like the eyelash video where I'm like, yeah, it's not as good as it could be because we're that was one of the ones of necessity.
Well, if budget was not a concern,
Yeah.
and normal constraints were also not a concern, so just fake fucking land here.
Yeah.
What's the video you'd make?
Oh, what's the video we make? Well, we're thinking a lot about. You may have an answer to that. I can give you the top big level pictures. We're thinking a lot about how we focus more on quality over quantity. Right? We prefer making episodes. We really like making shows. So things like Without a Recipe give us a lot deeper of a satisfaction.
Sure.
To than just a one-off video. That said, what is the one video that we would make? No. Okay. Budget.
The Super Bowl.
Okay.
The one time only.
Well, we used to say go to space, but now billionaires have ruined it.
Yeah.
I still want to do it.
I still want to do it, but it's not. It's now it's going to be like, oh, you're just wasting money like the billionaires. And they're right.
We're looking into.
And they're right.
And that's the worst part.
And the reason
Yeah.
that I'm upset about it is because they're correct.
And they're right. But if I had done it before the billionaires, it would have been better.
we're looking into the zero gravity simulator, which we have talked about
At
doing for
Universal
years. No. Yeah, right.
Oh, that's an iFly.
No,
Looks
we're
pretty sick.
talking about
They
the.
used to have a Cheesecake Factory. If you just did that while in the air,
Wow.
Vomit
How
everywhere.
would a no gravity situation be on your ankylospondylitis?
Probably good.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Probably good. I wouldn't feel anything.
You think, right? Yeah, that would probably be good for your body.
But it's this airplane that goes up to like the edge of, and then it just free falls and then goes up and down and up and down. And you're just zero
I
gravity.
just
in
wanted me to
between
ask her to marry me in the middle of a no gravity situation like that. I'm not gonna. That was Justine's idea. She goes, "You could do it in one of these no gravity areas." I go, "Thank you for that idea, Justine."
Terrible idea.
Yeah. That would be a fun thing. I would like to, but I can't do it because it won't make any money and it would cost too much. I think there'd be
No, that's exactly the answer I'm looking for.
Is like, I think so. Mushrooms, psychedelic mushrooms, psilocybin is very much on the cusp of being legalized in more places. So a lot of people don't know much about it. I think it'd be very interesting to do a series on what does it actually do to you and have it be educational and interesting, but also it'd be called Try Guys Take Mushrooms. And I think that there's really interesting content there that could be educational.
What do you mean that
I
would
think
make no money?
I think that would make money, and I think that it's affordable to do.
If something's federally illegal, YouTube won't let it be monetized. And it might even get age gated, which means so few people will see it at all.
I saw a butthole on YouTube the other day, so it can't be that.
Lauren's
restricting.
favorite video.
I literally made Zach and Maggie record themselves. Keith, I can't wait. I literally can't wait to see your reaction.
Should we show it to him right now?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
You want it on the big screen?
Oh, we sure
Do we
do.
do it on the big screen?
Show me the butthole that you saw
wish-
on the
Literally,
tube.
you're gonna absolutely
I
lose
wish
your
more than
fucking
anything
mind.
that I hadn't already ruined this. I forgot we have screens here.
This is
Yeah.
on YouTube.com.
This is on YouTube.com, not monetized educational content.
Hey, don't bother signing in. You're on a mobile
No,
Safari.
it probably needs to be signed in though, because it's probably age gated.
Yeah, don't worry. I am.
It's
I'm in
okay.
LaurDIY.
Perfect.
Could you actually turn history on? Make sure that it's.
It has
I
already
literally
been viewed.
had
You
Zach
add
and
it to one of
Maggie
Lauren's playlists.
record their reaction so that I could see in real time.
Just pin this on our page, will you?
Yeah, can you like it publicly from the LaurDIY?
There we go.
Okay, so what is it
yeah.
called?
Removing butt hairs using Nair cream.
I'm just gonna watch Keith.
I know, just watch Keith. Everyone watch Keith. This
Guy's so shiny.
Yeah. his
Friends,
beautiful
this is
skin.
how hairy my butt is right now. Alright, so step one is to squeeze this cream onto your hand. So I'm going to be doing just that.
Here's
Alright,
the
now
nair.
it says to apply a thick, even layer to cover hair. Do not rub it
That was
in.
a great
So let's
early
do that.
jump cut. Wow. This is going to hurt him, right?
Yeah, I bet. It's crazy. Also, I haven't seen it on this big of a screen.
Don't forget to cover the cheeks as well. Setting a timer for 3 minutes. Don't go past 3 minutes because I did that with my armpits.
I think we get it.
about no the review. You're
Well,
not gonna. You're
we need to
commit.
see the. I
yeah,
need to see the
payoff.
transformation. It's YouTube.
Here's a before and after
There's
shot.
a reveal and a wink.
Obviously, there are some hairs on my cheeks still. Like,
That is on YouTube with how many? 43 million views.
Well, yeah. It's a butthole.
If you're wondering why any of your videos don't get picked up, that's why. People are busy. They're busy.
That is.
That's probably our number one bucket list.
Wow.
is to execute something like that.
That was more
Yeah.
than I would.
The Try Guys nair their buttholes.
Could it be illegal to do a musical where everyone's on shrooms every night?
I just don't think it's going to be a good product.
Oh, and
I mean, the audience or the performers?
yes.
Yeah. If you do it every day, you have diminishing returns. So you got to do it every third
Okay, fine.
day.
Like a 2-week event.
Well, you just have like a lot of understudies, right?
Just cabaret on shrooms.
We did our Romeo and Juliet live stream, right? And it had the way that it worked is people were able to tune in, they were able to vote on it, and I think people can still go watch it if they want to. A little natty plug right
Yes,
there.
you
But
can.
it made me think like, oh wow, this would be such a blast as a live theatrical
Yeah.
event if people if we brought that on tour and people could in the theater vote and like
On
they,
their phones, yeah.
they like light up different colors, like it'd be cool.
Wait, that's so cute. I mean, if in college we're able to use our clickers to submit answers to like
right.
business shit, there's no way that you guys can't execute
Our
that.
poor
Yeah.
freshman, pledge with 19 like
Clickers.
different clickers
That was
having to
so
go through all
stupid.
that.
You have to be like, you have to buy a clicker for class, and if you lose it, you'll have to buy another one. It's like,
Yeah.
why
This is so dumb.
can I not? I don't know. not do that.
Guaranteed, they still won't let you use your phone. You probably
I
still
don't
have to
know
buy the
what you
little
guys are
clicker thing.
talking about.
What?
There's a clicker.
Really?
It was like a mandatory participatory button.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you have to
For
like
big classes.
Yeah.
The fuck are you talking about? What did you click?
So like in a business class, it'd be like, okay, like we're listening to them lecture and they'd be like, okay, they'd put up a question on the thing. And it's like, is it A, B, C, or D? And even if you get the answer wrong, you clicking that button marks your participation in the class and like registers.
this did not.
Yeah, it's
nothing
assigned
like
to
that.
you. It was stupid.
So dumb.
When you get a serious degree, okay?
Yeah, like
it's a little
Yeah.
it's a little bit fucking different than whatever you went for, okay?
Yeah.
Wait, what did you go to school for?
Film production.
Okay, 2 serious degrees then.
Yeah.
Printing.
Yes, I learned about that recently. I can't believe that.
Yeah.
And I still take my USB dongle and plug it into my computer and print off of my $80 Canon printer.
She prints all the time. Sometimes I come over here to print stuff.
I will say, I feel like we're a bit
actually,
of a
you
printing
have
hub.
you literally the amount I've had probably more than 5 different friends text at some point to be like, "Hey, can I come print something at your house?"
You know what I did here is
Tell us.
Yeah. Wait, what else?
You know what I did here? What I did here is I wanted to get Maggie's fingerprint on my wedding ring on the inside.
Oh, man, I remember
I
this.
love this story.
So I had her. I got a little ink kit. I had her press her thumb down on paper, and my scanner wasn't good or I didn't have a scanner. That's what it was. I don't have a scanner. So
my non-existent scanner was
Wasn't
not
good
good
enough.
enough.
So I came over and I scanned it, and the guy misinterpreted my instruction. And so instead of having a fingerprint going all the way around, he shrunk the entire fingerprint all the way down to a little baby boop. And
potato.
it looks like there's like a chip on the inside of my.
Did you keep it?
I did.
Yay! I was
not-
hoping you would.
I didn't really make a decision to keep it. I'm just exceptionally lazy, and I never take it
Yeah,
off, so I always
right.
forget about it.
Right,
you know,
right.
and then there it
No,
is.
I love that memory. I think having that is even better than having Maggie's real fingerprint on there.
The guy,
So
actually, I have a guy
stupid.
question.
Yeah.
Did you guys wear rings before you got married?
No, and I love it now. I love rings. I wear extra rings sometimes.
Wow.
Keith?
I don't wear any other rings, but I like mine.
But you like it wasn't weird?
It
it
was a
is.
transition.
Yeah, but here's the thing that's going to happen is that within a month, maybe 2, you're going to then start to feel naked without it.
I already feel that way now. Like if I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm like, oh shit, I don't have it on.
Well,
Yeah.
I threw my Aura ring the other day actually on the podcast and have yet to put it back on. But like I fidget with my ring all day.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's a
it's
toy.
nice.
Okay.
It's a toy. I take
feel
it
like
off.
I'm a
and I
child by
flip it
fidgeting all the
around.
time.
Yeah, I did. I put it on my thumb,
It doesn't fit on any of the finger for me.
just the top of the thumb, just the thumbnail.
I don't need that.
Okay.
I
The
just flip
Aura
it
ring is also like exceptionally bulky. I feel
Right.
like I feel like a flatter band will probably, go into. Your
I was
life a little
thinking
easier.
Bejeweled from mine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
love that.
I looked into it.
Let everybody know.
Yeah.
I have to go soon. I like this conversation, but I have a plumber coming.
That was hilarious.
I'm so sorry.
We are going to keep that in. And just so you know, when this podcast cuts short, it's because Keith has a plumber coming to his house.
I have to go.
Okay, well, I'm so excited to eat cheesecake with you. I literally can't wait. 21st, I'm going to mark it on my calendar. You let
Yeah.
me know when the whole day is
Yeah,
dedicated
I'll
to cheesecake.
text you after this, and I'll get you connected with our production coordinator.
Okay, we'll let Keith go, and then I want Zach to I want to talk about how we're going to sue Crocs for your near canceled wedding.
No, we love Crocs.
So we will
We
release
love
you,
them.
Keith.
Goodbye. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Take your Moldovan treats with you.
Oh, I'll
Well,
take
what are
just
you
this one.
most excited? What are you most excited about that people can check you out on?
Oh, well, I have a Lou Burger tour this November for just a few weekends.
Oh,
They're
fun.
like really short, like 2-show tours.
Tickets available?
On the weekend. Yeah, there's tickets available. You can go to louburgercomedy.com, I think is where it is. LouBurger.com is being held hostage by one of those big domain websites and wants us to pay like $10,000 for it. We're like, fuck off.
that, yeah.
But you know what we
Really?
did? I think it's called hugedomains.com. And
Oh,
so
talk to me after.
we bought one called fuckhugedomains.com and it redirects to Lou Burger.
That's hilarious.
So everyone go to fuckhugedomains.com.
and get your tickets to a Lou Burger show.
That is prime comedy right there.
And then, I would say, yes, go check out the Romeo and Juliet live stream because it's exceptional. It's really, really cool. And then just try guys stuff on the internet. Just watch our videos, please. Please.
Okay, go home. Go
Please.
home.
Bye.
Bye, Keith.
Good to see you, buddy.
Are we actually gonna keep going? Oh my god, I'm excited. Oh, fun.
I want to.
finish
Well,
this
I want to
next
talk
one.
about your. I want to talk about your Crocs incident.
Bye.
Bye, Keith. I hope you find your plumber. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. You know when it's been a long day and you cannot wait to crawl into your bed and finally rest. And I actually call that horizontal carcass time. It's my favorite time of the day.
You've got to stop saying that.
It's my favorite time of the day.
Oh, boy.
It is my favorite time of the day. But boom, your brain kicks into overdrive. Thoughts, concerns, random song lyrics. Does that ever happen to you?
Oh, does it ever? It's like my brain is like impeccable timing. Right when I'm trying to relax, it decides to just throw a marathon of thoughts at me. You know what I found that helps? Talking it out. Just by airing out those thoughts, sometimes they lose their intensity. That's why therapy can be such a game changer. It gives you that space to let it all out.
And that is so incredibly true. Therapy is like a conversation, but one where you can genuinely focus on yourself and what's going on inside your head, a chance to break the negative thought cycles. And once you've talked through those racing thoughts, it is so much easier to find that mental and emotional peace that we all crave.
Well, BetterHelp offers online therapy, making it even more convenient. It's a place where you can unpack all those racing thoughts anytime.
I've been doing therapy for forever, and let me tell you, airing the endless noise that occupies my brain has helped so much with my general well-being overall and my anxiety. If I keep everything that I'm feeling to myself, or even if I'm only sharing it with Jeremy, I find it usually does not end well for anyone involved. Therapy has been a mind saver for me.
If you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge.
Get a break from your thoughts with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/WT9 today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/WT9.
Hell yeah.
Okay, I was.
I'm gonna outlast everyone. You guys.
What's your longest podcast? I'm gonna stay longer.
Last to leave the podcast gets the podcast. Wild Till 9 is mine now. What's up, Tillies? It's your boy Corn Diddy. We're back at Wild Till 9. I haven't stopped recording. We're on day 42. The wallpaper is still wallpaper.
I was thinking about your Crocs incident.
It's not the Crocs incident. Don't call it the Crocs incident. The Crocs are innocent.
The Crocs
have
not
nothing to do
innocent.
with it.
Okay,
It's the treadmill incident.
Ooh.
It's the glass
treadmill
instrument.
and glass incident.
The Crocs have nothing to do with
Okay,
it.
Mia. So we went to the zoo, the San Diego Zoo, to go see the capybaras. And Mia has a bad association with capybaras because in her Crocs, she slipped because it was raining and literally fell down an entire flight of stairs while she is in Tokyo outside of the capybara cafe. And so now she just associates that. So I think of that as her Crocs/capybara incident. And this is your treadmill Crocs. I almost said capybara incident. No, capybara is involved in Zach's. Would have been fun though.
And the Crocs are innocent. For those who we alluded to it earlier, I had a 4.5 centimeter shard of glass stab into my leg. And when I say stab into my leg, I mean it was in there and you couldn't see nothing. It was just
the
in
glass
there.
didn't just
gone.
walk up and you got to give them more context than that. What were you doing?
I was on a treadmill.
Okay.
Wearing
I was walking on a treadmill.
in.
Memphis.
In home shoes, and it doesn't even matter.
You're in home shoes.
I was in my
Oh, this is
home.
Were
home
you in
shoes.
sport mode?
No.
Okay, well, do you think that maybe had you been in sport mode?
Obviously, if I were in sport mode, everything would have been fine.
And can we go through the other modes you have, actually? Sport mode?
Sport mode and just
Right, your regular
cool
mode.
mode.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool mo- Yeah, it's true. There's a name for sport mode, but I don't think there's a name for non-sport
Well, I
mode.
think that's like default mode.
just default.
Yeah, and
but no one
sport
calls
mode.
it that. It's just,
No.
are you wearing Crocs or are you in sports
Or
mode?
you in sport mode, yeah.
Sport mode. And it's not sports mode, it's sport mode.
Sport mode.
So I
Sits up.
my best buddy was like a dance machine at his wedding, and I was like, "Yo, how the fuck did you do that?" He said, "Cardio, my dude. Get on that." For him, it was a Peloton. I don't have a Peloton, but I do have a treadmill that we mostly use for my dog when we're too lazy to take him on walks. So I was like, "Cool, I'm gonna do 30 minutes a day on the treadmill." It was on day 2.
Day two.
I was on
Oh
day
my
2.
God.
Day 2.
You're on minute 33.
Yeah. It was a 35-minute thing, and it was, it does like that variable speed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you were doing like a program.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
and-
walk in the woods in whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
In Crocs.
I will say the real thing that I think made this happen too is that I was on my phone. So I worked on this short film that is relevant to this story, and that I'll
Yes.
go back to in a second. But I was making a list of film festival due dates.
Oh my God.
And I was looking down at my phone, and I was like in the last minute. So now to pause the story, I shot this short film, and I had to, we shot in our house, and I painted walls, and I did all this shit. So I had all these photos that either got taken down or weren't hung up, and I wanted them to be out of the way. I wanted to be a nice fiance. I wanted to be a good husband to be, and not make it super messy.
A good fiance, you mean painting your whole house seafoam green?
Well, that part was not ideal.
It back.
Yeah, there's still one pair of blinds I haven't reinstalled. Like a year ago now.
It seems so easy at the time. No, we'll just take it down, put it back up.
Put them back up. And then we tried to put them back up, and it's like, well, it's crooked. What?
Did all these holes change?
And what? Yeah, it's weird. It's like diagonal now. And it's okay, whatever. So we, I decided to tuck the picture frames behind the treadmill because we never use the treadmill. So now we go back to the present. The treadmill variable speed goes a little faster, and I just, you slide a little further back on the treadmill than you expect to, and my legs are, and so my back leg kicked up, kicked a picture frame, and it was just bam, that
Shattered.
moment. Like it shattered, and the force of kicking it caused the shard of glass to ricochet out and just right into the leg. And it was just one of those moments of like, oh, that dumb, and now my...
Did it even hurt?
Yes. Oh, so much. It was, I didn't feel so it's like back of the calf.
Yeah.
But that's not where I felt it. I felt 1,000 tiny needles on the bottom of my foot.
Which is so scary because you're like, oh, nerve pain, nerve damage.
Well, I didn't know what in that moment, right, it definitely what it was is that it rubbed a nerve.
Yeah.
What I thought had happened was that there was 1,000 pieces of glass in my sock.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I was just, that's what it felt like.
Right.
It felt like I was crunching on glass.
Have you been compared to Achilles yet?
No.
Because that's the journey that I'm hearing
Yeah?
here. Yeah. The only way to get him down is to heal.
Oh, yeah.
It was
'Cause
the
I'm too
croc.
mighty.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. If I were wearing regular sneakers, it still would have happened. It was the
It was the variable speed doing the film
It was.
festival.
I mean,
days.
it was the stupidity of having a picture frame leaned against behind your
yeah,
treadmill.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
just-
yeah.
And you also aren't supposed to have a treadmill facing a wall. Like there was a lot of dumb things I
Happened.
did.
Do we call
And play,
Mythbusters and have them recreate this with
No,
Nikes
no.
and Crocs?
It's 100 ways to die is what we call.
But it's a myth. To me,
Yeah, the myth. We gotta.
It's a cross-
You're
Crossover.
right.
We gotta.
This is a myth. Because to me, if I'm a
Crocs
Nike,
are innocent.
I would have said, if he was wearing our shoes, this would have never happened.
Right.
And Crocs be like, let's fucking dance.
It's miraculous that I haven't had like lasting nerve damage or anything.
There's still time.
Crazy.
I know. Oh my god. Well, I'd had like little tingles in my foot for a while, but it's
But like your body naturally is falling apart
sure is
at all times. Like I don't know
Sure
anybody
is.
whose existence is.
Oh, thank
No,
you.
no, we have another friend who has some form of arthritis, Tracy, who has had every single
Dude,
joint replaced.
Yeah, but like Zach's like gonna calcify if he sits here too long.
That's true. No, but you're actively taking meds to not calcify.
Yeah, but I still got to work out
Yeah,
and pain in the
yeah.
ass.
But also like just sort of like, what if like a pill shortage and he hurt himself again and another pandemic rolled through?
No, listen, like the odds are not in your favor.
We would go back and you'd be a pillar of salt.
Like natural selection would have taken you out for sure.
Oh,
years ago.
I am an affront to evolution. Charles Darwin's rolling in his grave.
Yeah. Damn you. Yeah.
The craziest
You're
part
not
about this,
supposed to work.
about the whole situation, is that one, you were training for your wedding when
Yeah.
this happened,
Yeah.
and then after you
Okay,
come
in
out
night two, like, okay, he was.
training for the cardio
was
of
thinking
dancing
about
at his
training,
wedding.
yeah.
Yeah. And then at your wedding, after coming out on the other side from all of us and being in the
Yeah.
hospital for so many days,
Yeah, in and out, two surgeries,
Two
two different
surgeries.
infections. It's a whole thing.
a whole thing, you in
3 infections.
Jewish tradition had to step on glass
Stop the
at
glass,
the
yeah.
wedding, and it was
Yeah.
the most stressful part for every single person in the audience.
That is the thing I've been looking forward to my whole life. Yeah, it's in a Jewish wedding. Like, I forget what. Yes, you may now kiss the bride. You stomp the glass and then you kiss. But it's like so exciting. I remember being a kid at my uncle's wedding and seeing him stomp the glass, and I was like, "How do you? What? Are you fucking what?"
What kind of glass do you put in there?
So any glass will work, but a lot of people will do light bulbs because they make a louder pop.
Oh, also like a thin glass. So it would just be so embarrassing if you went to go stomp on it. And it didn't. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
because when the filament breaks, it would like have like a, I think there's like gas
Yeah.
actually would pop out a little bit too.
I think so,
Oh.
yeah. Some people will buy like a specialty glass and then it's like a kit that you put in a thing and press it into a picture. I'm like, I don't fucking need that.
Someone's trying to make money off every tradition ever.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
People will get their specialty Jewish glass.
I mean,
For stomping.
we'll be doing that for ours.
You should stomp. It'd be cool. I tried to get Maggie to stomp with me.
If I can prove unequivocally from enough DNA tests that I'm over 5% Ashkenazi Jew, I am stomping the fuck out of some glass.
Jeremy, he literally has another DNA test that's been sitting downstairs for months, but because you have to prick your finger and send blood, he won't do it.
Hell no.
Well, I asked her to do it for me.
My God.
He knows
Do it
enough.
for me.
We were just
I
saying.
can do his DNA test right
Please.
now. Visual. He white. I need to know.
he's white. We know that.
I don't
me.
need to know what he is.
It's me. So what's your background? Vanilla.
White.
Diet
Wonder bread.
Yeah.
Wonder bread white.
Are
But you
there
know what?
any traditions that y'all want to do?
In my family, we do a lot of unplanned pregnancies.
My parents got married in our living room.
Yeah, yep.
Well, I don't mean your family traditions,
Oh, sorry.
just things that you think are cool.
I feel like we haven't started getting into like the more like the smaller details
Stomp the glass.
of
Stomp the glass.
So I'm not going to be stomping any.
Stomp the glass.
Babe, what if we stomp the glass together?
Stomp the glass.
I also don't think
So cool.
how like one, I have very small feet, and so then two,
True.
put that small foot in a heel, and the part that's actually touching the ground is like a 2-inch
It's a
radius.
thimble.
It's literally a thimble. So it's like I
Yeah.
don't have much space.
That's a good point.
Is the movie just at a standstill?
Yeah, what
movie?
happens now
The
with your short
film.
film?
My short film. So what's crazy is that I was on here so long
I know.
ago.
So long ago.
And on that episode, you like asked me basically like it was like YouTube goes away, what are you doing? And that was the project that I wanted to work on. And it got delayed and it got delayed and it got delayed. So I did finally get to film it I filmed it in December.
Before you got
And-
married, right?
Before I got married.
Well, yeah, because it was short film,
Right.
seafoam walls, picture frames on the ground,
Yes.
the sharded glass,
And by the way, will
wedding.
you explain why you did the seafoam walls thing?
It was only in one room. And I wanted our
But like,
bedroom.
explain it like to anybody. Hey, I'm gonna shoot a short film. I'm going to paint my own walls in order to get this one scene.
Well, the budget was really expensive, man. I mean, I brought a producer on and I wrote this. So the short film is about chronic pain and it's trying to visualize something that's inherently unvisualable. It's there.
No,
language.
nailed it.
Invisible.
He's an artist. Don't question him.
Thank you and thank you. Yeah, so I wanted to like show an invisibleness, right? That you
Yeah.
so you need all these giant metaphors. The first script that I handed in, the budget came in at $350,000.
Shut the fuck up.
Which is in film world
Yeah.
cheap? Question mark.
Yeah, I mean, in the short world,
Right.
it's like, oh, this is a big movie, but
Right.
still, it was like, we can't. This is not.
That's
You'd be
insane.
shocked at how, like, I guess, small, like I should say, how short a budget will go in film.
So short.
It's just expensive. It adds up.
And part of it was like there were a lot of locations, there were stunts, but it was because of the amount of locations. Like this is a 5-day shoot, so we needed to figure out.
5 days, $350,000. Oh God.
Yeah, you know. So we figured out how to make it a 3-day shoot, and part of it was like, okay, we found one location that could be a ton of locations, and then it was okay if we do this at my house. Now I can change this scene to be in a backyard, and I can change this scene to here, and we can film. You know, we don't need to pay a location fee. We don't need to do a load-in day, and we don't need to pay extra days to paint. You know, it's like all that stuff. So it made it feasible. But certainly, I had to tell Maggie that I was like, you know, gonna
paint
fuck up our
your
house.
primary bedroom.
Hey, babe,
seafoam
how do you
green.
feel about just seafoam green, just for no reason at all? Just like, what are your initial thoughts?
Yeah, it was like this quirky 1950s Tim Burton-esque alien scene. The irony too is that
Alien scene?
yeah, there's aliens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this about chronic pain?
Yeah. Yeah, aliens. The irony too is that I showed the cut to friends over. So you asked what happened, right?
Yeah.
Well, okay, I'll tell you the whole process, but just to jump forward and then jump back. no matter what we did, that scene was great. Everyone loved that scene. But when you got to it, it just killed the momentum. It was like the scene is so funny, but it grinds it to a halt.
Yep.
So I had to take it out.
The seafoam room.
And then I made it the credit scene, and now people love it. Because like
perfect,
every time
yeah.
they got there, they were like, I like the scene if I watch just the scene, but I hate it because it's ruining the piece. It was a really hard decision. But so I shot it, and then it sat for 2 months, right? Because I was in the hospital when I was supposed to start the edit. Then I was
Getting married.
Then I was getting married, and then I came back. So then there's been like, I've been able to kind of come in and out of it over the last couple months, but it's obviously taken a really long time, and it has illustrated how challenging it is to take on bigger creative projects while running a company and running a YouTube company. And certainly this year's been more turbulent than most. There's been a lot of changes.
Sure.
Well, getting married is a time-consuming thing.
That's the one I was talking about, and nothing else.
And Bowie's swimming lessons.
Bo, you gotta make time for those swimming lessons. But happy to say that I did finally picture lock it. And so, well, and here's the thing is that festival season, basically the starting gun is Sundance, and their submissions just happened. So now, like, I was in a like a desert where like there's nothing to submit to.
Yep.
So there's no reason to prioritize finishing it now. So now it's finished, and now we just wait a couple months.
So is the process that you submit to film festivals and you hear back to...
Yeah, you hear back anywhere from like a month to 3 months. I think for the ones that, I mean, I don't actually expect that I'll get into the big ones, but you still try.
Yeah.
And for me, it's not really, for a lot of people who do the film festival route, it is to try and get repped or try and get, I just think it's cool. I just want to do it, and meet people and have my thing screened. And I will eventually publish it for YouTube, but it's certainly not made for YouTube. Right? We talked earlier, like, I don't know what the fucking title thumbnail is for it.
It's like Vimeo vibes.
It's Vimeo vibes. And so
Shout out Vimeo.
we love Vimeo. Vimeo's dope as hell. I miss staff pics. Those are so cool.
Staff pics.
Staff pics, yeah.
Wow.
Those are great. But it's, I just, I want to see it in that context with other films. I think it'd be really special.
I feel like I didn't fully understand how the whole like short film situation worked.
Oh, I still don't.
I think in the last couple of years, I've made friends with some producers and directors and stuff, and I never, they would be working on these projects, and I'm like, well, when do I get to see it? When do we get to see it? Even like things that Casey Neistat has worked on and like talked about, like that have just never found a home after they go and get shown, even at some of these festivals, because at the festivals, there's the possibility that it could potentially get picked up by a streamer as well.
Not for shorts. I mean, shorts are really, so people will make shorts. It's like considered a ladder system. So you're either doing it as like talent recognition, to get rep to make the next thing, or a lot of people will make shorts with the hope that short will lead to a feature. Like the famous example is Whiplash was a short film that Damien Chazelle made, and it did really great. And they said, man, we should make this into a movie. And he goes, I happen to have a script. And then he made a movie.
I see.
Got it.
But then for a lot of people who are making shorts, like these are younger directors or earlier in their career, I should say. And this is just a show of their talent that helps them on their path of making the next thing. And that's probably more where I am. There's no real desire to sell this anywhere.
Right.
And why would you? There's no marketplace for short films.
Right.
It's a bad economical undertaking.
I think and like I've tried to like make it make sense from a finance perspective.
You can't.
Everything I've come to realize is that this is a great way to spend money.
Yeah, I mean, we thought about it. Look, there are things like if we get into a festival or get some award or whatever, like maybe it can point back to the company and show like, look at what we are capable of producing.
Right.
Without losing money. Or without losing a lot of money.
Either way, we're losing money. But like maybe some brand trusts us to, or a production company, or not a production company, like a network trusts us as a production company on some project, right? But
I feel like mentally and spiritually though, you needed to flex that creative muscle.
So you mentioned like what is the goal for other movies? Yeah, there are hundreds, thousands of movies that are made every year. I forget the actual number of how many movies are submitted to festivals every year, but it's
Do you have to pay for each one?
dumbfounding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to, in your budget, you put out a budget for submitting.
Yeah.
And it's, you're going to spend $1,000 over the course of all of them. If you can get into the early submissions, you're going to save some money. So
still.
I got to save some money because I
Do
I
that
missed.
times 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different festivals. It's like
Sorry, I mean 1,000 for the whole once for all of them. Yeah,
that's
it's
a lot.
like somewhere between $30 to $75 per festival.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yes, for a lot of features, they are going with the hope of getting acquired.
Right.
So that is, when Casey brought his Dobrik documentary out, that was brought with the hope of getting acquired. You hear every festival season about, big deals and Talk to Me, which was the two YouTubers.
Yeah, the two YouTubers. Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
blanking on the Raka.
Raka. Yeah.
They Talk to Me is
Raka.
a
I know. I
new-
told you about these guys. I watched them on
Hey,
Impulsive.
you have to tell me 3 times.
I know, literally.
Come
They're
on.
the two Australian guys. They came from a YouTube background and they produced this horror movie that crushed at festivals. And apparently it's incredible. We won't be seeing it because we don't do horror.
We don't do horror.
Yeah,
But
don't do horror.
We don't do
I
horror.
watched all their interviews because I'm so intrigued by just
Yeah.
like them as individuals.
I haven't seen the movie yet. I hear it's great, but I believe Sundance is where they were first
Got it.
discovered.
Got it,
I could
got
be
it.
wrong. So that's the dream, right? That's but not for this project.
I've been seeing such a correlation lately, like as I've been prepping for like my series that's been a little more serious in production, a correlation between people who are interested in like the art of short films and filmmaking and successful YouTuber formats. So I was watching the round table between Colin and Samir. One of the guys from Yes Theory, Michelle Kari was there, Ryan Trahan,
Yeah.
a girl named Cleo, and I think I'm missing someone else.
I haven't listened to that
and
yet.
Zach King.
Yes.
Sorry, Show, who was I missing?
Yeah, you got it.
And Zach King, yeah, exactly. And it was just so interesting
Talented
to hear.
bunch.
Oh, big talented bunch. But it was so interesting to hear all of like their backgrounds and just perspectives on storytelling and filmmaking and just like the cinematic approach of how they make their YouTube videos, which I think going into YouTube, like I started making shitty tutorials filmed on my MacBook. You know what I mean? So it's just so interesting to see the perspective and the
But
correlation
those
there.
were your constraints.
Oh yeah, totally. And I also have never been like,
Has camera and screen.
yeah, exactly.
Has hair. I do this.
Exactly. But it's just been interesting to like see the correlation between people like you who have the interest and like the talent and creativity to do short film stuff and have successful formats on YouTube.
But also, I love the idea of knowing just enough about a creative when they're not doing short films, and then knowing that they had to literally like to save 30 grand, paint their own house seafoam green, and then that scene didn't even fucking make the film, but it's in the credits. That story, if I'm like on the cusp of being interested, should either put me over or like, oh, I'm not interested enough. Whatever. Like to me, like there's like enough there, like the story and the constraints of that story that make it even more interesting to me.
Yeah, the amount of heartbreak of things that were so carefully constructed, like a fine Swiss watch, that once you got into the edit, it was like, no, that doesn't work at all.
Yeah.
And you just have to reimagine it, take it apart.
But like, is that bad execution or bad pre-production?
I think for the things that didn't work were like cracks in the script become chasms in the edit.
That makes sense.
Ooh.
Great word, a chasm.
Did you steal that or is that?
No, that's all me, baby.
Wow.
I think, I mean, what you said with like the filmmaker to YouTuber, there's very different types of content. And I think that, you do things that I can't do, which is just a pure base relatability and like openness of sharing your life.
I should dial that back. Is what I've learned.
It's crazy. You share all of that.
Well, it's like...
No, but I understand what you're saying. I think also too, but just being like from the female perspective, I think having that
Females.
Females.
Yeah, you guys are females.
We love to pee.
I'm gonna take that back.
I can't even remember. Female threw me off. Keep going. Go ahead.
I think there's all different. I mean, I think about content in different buckets. Like there is there's probably multiple categorizations here, but broadly, I've been looking at the stuff we make on Try Guys, and I'm like, is this a show? Is this content, right? Or is this companionship?
Right.
And, content, the eyelash video we talked about, it's like, oh, you watch that, you enjoy it. The second it's done,
Heavy hitter.
it's just flows right through you. It's like
No, that didn't flow. That left you with lasting anger. Because I wanted your lashes to be more and longer.
Okay, there you go. My hope is that the shows that we make, Phoning It In, Without a Recipe, those feel like shows, and that is entertainment, right?
Yeah.
You're sitting down and you're watching something and getting something out of it. Again, content, I think, flows through you. And then there's companionship, which I think by its design is meant to be a comfort for you. And again, it's in the name, a companion for you during your other daily activities. I think what we're doing right now, this is companionship, right?
Totally.
We are Eat the Menu, Keith and I have talked about, like, oh, that's a companionship show.
Totally.
You are watching that while, as you said, cooking dinner, eating dinner. I mean, there's the joke of people who can't eat dinner without their YouTube. I think for the most part that what they're really seeking subconsciously is that sense of companionship from their favorite creators.
Oh,
And
that's fully me. I saw a
Yeah.
TikTok where someone was like, they were like, it was a TikTok about their roommate where they were like, my roommate is just so unhinged. Like they are just never alone with their thoughts. They're in the shower listening to something. They're
Same.
eating. And I'm like, we're both the same way. Like we're always consuming something. I've never just sat there silently. Like if he's working or whatever, I've never just sat there silently with a meal and just like chewed and stared.
I forgot what silence sounds like at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like a warping of an evolutionary drive to be surrounded by community and
Without having to talk to anybody.
yeah.
Yeah, but like when I was single, I remember I existed with headphones on, going through life. I would just have music or like it was actually more music then. I think I'm more podcasts now.
Yeah.
Right.
But I would just
same.
like have music just on until I walked into a room and started talking to somebody.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is, I don't know if that's healthy or not, but it always made me feel like I wasn't alone.
It's like pacifier for the ear.
Yes. But like, like you like have a little comfy blanket. I just put my little sucky right out of my lobe.
Just imagine the feels of sucking down music.
I hate that. When I actually walk the dogs, I don't listen to anything and I'm alone with my thoughts for like a solid 45 minutes every day.
I think that's super useful.
And it's very productive. It really is. Like I feel like I actually process things well because I'm still doing something that's just like, mindless, which is, walking, picking up dog poo or whatever. But I'm not overwhelmed with like content while like I think I'd be overstimulated if I had a podcast that was like also having to like stop to like chat with a neighbor, take a headphone out, pick up poop, like dogs walking chaotically.
Well, you're doing something mechanical.
Right.
That you can run as an unconscious process, right? Like I think about washing the dishes. I get great thinking done while washing the dishes if I turn my podcast off, which I do not do.
Right.
But there's then that extreme comfort. Like every morning I wake up, I put on music in the shower, I dry off my little butt, and then I go to the kitchen and I put on a podcast while making my smoothie and tea. And it's like, why can't I just exist in silence? It's like, no, from the second I wake up, crack my eyes open, refresh Twitter, refresh Instagram. Like I just need fucking stimulus.
I know. You know what would be a great video for you? I mean this is in the most loving way, and I'm only saying this because you're one of my closest friends. Zach has one of the flattest butts I've ever seen in my entire life. It's like almost shocking. It's a continuation of his
It's
back.
not concave,
Almost.
but
You should do a video for like 3 months of doing butt workouts and see what you can build in 3 months.
a dump truck.
I love that.
That would be such a good video because I got like dedicated to building a butt over the last
that's
like
the video
year or so.
that Crocs sponsors.
Build it. You could build the butt in Crocs. A lot of my friends work out in Crocs.
Last time you worked out in Crocs.
Oh, so it's fine with them.
They don't do cardio in Crocs. They don't get on a moving treadmill
Sorry, I
in
just
Crocs.
have to keep going.
But you should do Zach tries to build a butt in 90 days.
Zach gets dumps like a truck.
Yeah, 90-day dump truck.
Wow.
Let's go.
My butt is so flat that sometimes
The beginning of like a bit.
my butt is so flat. How flat is it? My butt is so flat.
What's the deal with Zach's butt?
Sometimes I'll just hear a giggle. And I'm like, what's going on? And she's just looking at my butt.
As if to say,
my anatomy is not a joke.
I noticed
It is
yet again
shockingly
how
flat.
how shocking. Like she catches it out of the corner of her eye and goes.
So when I got my butt tattooed,
Yes.
it was my butt cheeks were on video.
Every mother's dream.
And my family was
She's
so
like, my son
so
has a
pissed.
film degree.
Like, no, my son is a fucking idiot. And
I'm gonna do this series where I smoke a lot of weed.
and the tattoo artist had her arm pushing my butt up, so it looked like I had a little bit of cake. And there was a comment I remember of Zach's kind of got a nice booty, and I'm like, oh,
You weren't
little
there.
do they know.
Or you should do a video where you wear butt pads
That's
for
what
a
I
week.
thought the pitch was gonna be, wearing increasingly big butt pads to see if anyone notices.
Right, to see if people notice. Yeah, because a lot of times, guys who work out will train legs and quads and just, by association of those muscles, end up building a dump truck.
Keith and I, a video that really delights us to think about is who can make the most on OnlyFans from feet pics.
Yeah, that's a great video idea.
And we do it as a
effort.
month-long competition.
Just to see.
But he would crush me. His feet are so big.
Oh, do you think big is better with feet, too?
I think anyone that wants guy feet want the most grotesque big.
Those kind of people are out there.
Yeah.
Because my
want
feet
man
aren't
feet?
specific enough. I don't have little bitty.
What's that? Are
baby
you
feet.
an average, a 9 or something? Or
Yeah, I just got
Yeah.
normal ass feet, So
Bummer.
yeah, no one wants those normies.
no, there's nothing
it's normal.
special or
Yeah.
freaky about them.
Right, like a 6 toe or something, or a
Yeah.
web.
Or some sort of grimy.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't feel free to
Well, it was great having you on the podcast.
On that note,
So is this are the Tillies going to finally be able to cross off the list, go bully Zach for getting this film out there?
it's doing
It's
it.
in progress.
Yeah.
But what's crazy is that, they'll still probably not get to watch it for a year.
That's
okay.
crazy.
It's okay. They're committed.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're here for the long run.
What's crazy too is I was looking at, the other thing you have to do is prioritize premiere status, right? So that's why, again, people use Sundance as the starting gun, because then you try Sundance, Slam Dance, then afterwards South by, you go for the big
Slam
ones.
Dance?
Slam Dance, yeah.
Slam dance.
Same-
Have you heard of Slam Dance?
No, good name
Yeah,
though.
it's a cool one.
I like it.
I mean, Sundances and South by
Yeah,
are bigger,
yeah.
but it's just at the same time as Sundance.
Got it.
It's cool. It's cool.
But if I was Slam Dance, I don't know if I would have called myself a slightly less cool version of Sundance.
Yeah, it does sound
Yeah, it'd
like
be we're the cooler version.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's we're going to be East by South.
West.
If you didn't get into South by, just come over here.
Yeah. And same idea. So we'll see. So, I mean, yeah, I was looking, I was there is one festival I could try and get to in October of this year. I could do it, but now you gotta.
Can you
gotta
change the
save.
edit?
Yeah.
In between one? So if I hated that part, change that before the next festival?
I can do whatever I want.
But is that industry standard to keep making tweaks?
Fuck if I know.
Oops.
Okay, cool. You'll find out.
Yeah, but no, I can keep changing the project file. But once they watch it, they've watched it.
Right.
It's like Han Solo.
Exactly like Han Solo. But you can submit rough cuts as well.
Got it.
Wow, that's shocking.
But it just ruins,
Yeah.
the better it is, the better your chance.
Right.
Is this
So we'll
also
see.
got a person who's where's it at right now? It's probably fine. Just send them that version. I don't know, watch it. Just export that.
Nightmare.
Okay, well, on that note, Keith gave his spiel already, but is there anything that Keith forgot that you want to throw out there for the 3 people that are still listening? Zach's I refuse. I'm the last guest standing.
Yeah, I mean, I should ask you, because is there anything y'all want to plug? Because I'm going to keep talking.
How much we like your wife?
Yeah, that's
How
a
much
good
we
one.
enjoy your
Big
dog?
Maggie fan.
You can go over and watch Guilty Pleasures. In
yeah.
addition to the Tripod, Guilty Pleasures is our movie podcast right now. Because of the strike, we're doing music, we're doing international films, we're doing some anime. Very fun show.
Musicals?
Yeah, we could.
Okay.
Do you
Got
want to come over and do
Yeah,
a
do
musical?
musicals? Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Off-Broadway shows that never made it.
Yeah.
Deep cut, personal interest that no one's heard of.
What else am I trying to...
SpongeBob on Broadway.
I said deep cut.
Sorry, too mainstream.
Yeah.
Too mainstream.
It's a fucking legendary piece of IP that never got its shot.
I saw that show.
Did you? It was had to have been garbage.
It was for children.
Not everything needs to be.
But it was I will say that Ariana's boyfriend, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He is shockingly ripped.
Oh.
He does a number where he is
Just a little ditty.
he's like going through like a jungle gym obstacle course, like doing like full aerobic
town.
but he's singing a song while like doing like planks and like pull-ups and like it's really
I wonder how
kind
many
of nuts.
kids appreciate that.
None.
You know what I mean? It's like this man is doing 37 sit-ups.
He's
in the middle of the air, singing at the top of his range.
It would shock you.
Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like shows that weren't successful on Broadway or like on the cusp, it's like, could you do this on ice? And if the answer is yes, do it on ice. Just do it on ice.
Loved Disney on Ice. Loved Disney on Ice.
Well, on that note,
Yeah, I ain't got nothing to plug. Just come watch my shit.
Okay.
I got cool stuff coming end of the year and next year.
Woo!
that's like another lifetime.
See, who even cares?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Goodbye.
We'll see you next week. Bye.